Hi, John. Thank you very much for agreeing to speak with me today. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Emma. Very well, yes. Enjoying life down in Brighton where I'm living with myself and family.
Excellent. You've been making the most of being by the beach, I hope, over the last couple of months.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I've as well as kind of supporting my properties, that have just been enjoying the life being out with the family and working from home, being able to adjust some of my business interests to be more centered around sort of conversations and phone calls rather than traveling and visiting. So it's been a bit different, but I live in a very nice part of the world, so very happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I know one of the things, John, we'll come back to the introduction actually for you, but one of the things that we focused a lot on over the last couple of months for our franchise partners is increasing comms with tenants. So I guess you just sort of referenced there using technology to increase communication and things like that. Have you found that to be a successful strategy with your housemates?
I have. I mean, in truth, the tenant will want their landlord to be not that visible from my experience over the years. So they want them to be there. They want them to solve problems, but don't necessarily want them to be, the right in their face or too visible. And I've tried to maintain that balance. I've been very fortunate through all the excellent support from Platinum Property Partners all the way through this very difficult period the last few months, and I've made absolute use of all the content. Both put together some very helpful communications, written communications for my tenants, but then follow that up with conversations with everybody and just explain that I'm there for them, I'm there to help and support, but not be invasive and not worry them with overly visiting. So it's trying to create the right balance, I think.
And how many houses do you have, John?
Well, I've got four properties and I've got 20 tenants across those different properties, three of them which are the traditional HMO model, and then a buy-to-let model which works in a different way. Enough that it generates a decent income for me across that space, but also not too invasive on my time either. So a nice balance from my perspective.
Absolutely. And do you think, obviously, I know obviously during lockdown, we all had to adapt and continue managing. I know some things sort of went on pause, but being a good landlord, you can't pause on that. There's still, the houses are still there. The housemates still have their needs to be addressed. Are there any things that you took from the way that you adapted over lockdown that you're going to keep as sort of part of your ongoing operations for managing your HMOs?
I think certainly the increased communications, but doing it in a mindful and respectful way, and also I guess recognising the dynamic that's permanently changed in the properties where previously people would be largely out the house at their respective work locations and interacting with their fellow housemates once or twice a day or a couple of times a week, and that's now very different. The people are largely in the house, with some exceptions, of course, but largely in the house, interacting a lot more frequently. And therefore, I think I need to be even more mindful and careful about new people I'm introducing into the house, and recognizing that a personality conflict or challenges across different people can be, rather than just something which is a bit frustrating or annoying, can actually turn into explosive or very difficult situations. I've had a couple of those examples the last few months. Again, receiving some excellent support from Rachel, who has been by my side the whole way during a couple of difficult moments. But I don't think it's unexpected really, because I think there's these additional pressures that everyone's been facing, and there's been this increased anxiety and worry just through the people who may be of an anxious disposition anyway. It just amplifies during this uncertain period. Is trying to create sensible strategies to help people. And so I think that's what I want to try and take and have permanently there, is just a way of people knowing that I'm there for them, that I'm there to try and help and support, but not too invasive of their time as well. And where new people are coming in, to be careful about how I introduce people, how I'm ultimately responsible for final decisions there, but equally I want to make sure that people don't think I'm introducing complications or problematic situations.
Yeah, of course. It must be tricky, I guess, just sort of navigating an individual is one thing, but to have sort of 20 or so housemates, all with different personalities, all impacted by everything that's going on, probably in their own unique ways. So managing sort of sensitive communication with each of those guys is quite a skill, I think, especially when you can't meet with people as sort of face to face as perhaps we were able to before. Speaking of the communication, you know, I know you mentioned Rachel there, our in-house lettings advisor. We've put loads of support out with making sure that housemates have all of the sort of up-to-date guidance and support that they need as far as COVID-19 goes. We've done some sort of mindfulness sessions in PPP as well to help our FPs cope. If again, what's been going on over the last few months impacts everybody in different ways. We all respond at different times in our own way. Jon, you're also, as one of our alumni partners, one of our longest standing FPs, you've been going through recently the A100 program that we've been running for. We've got 27 alumni partners on that program. Yeah, the intention for alumni is ultimately to widen the scope of the programme. So our core focus for all new FPs is the HMO and property training. When you get to alumni, we like to try and introduce some wild cards, and health, wealth and lifestyle are definitely the pillars of that programme for our sort of content creation and delivery. How have you found the A100 so far? Obviously, we're quite a few weeks into it now, but
yeah, it has very positively transformed my life. I think I've had a set of goals for a number of years now about improving my general health and well-being, becoming probably losing a little bit of weight and eating better and that kind of thing. And if I'm being candid, a lot of those goals didn't really get too far, even where I made them a bit more specific and said I want to get down to this particular weight or to do this type of exercise. But through the program, it has been very positively transformational for me. That I've in a measured way of introducing different steps and different things to do over the different phases of the 100 days. I've been able to take some practical steps, whether it's around adjusting my diet in a more healthy way, carefully introducing new exercise and new stretching routines, and other mindfulness activities. And I feel, both fitter and healthier, but also, through practical measures, I'm at my lowest weight I've been for probably 20 years now. My lowest body mass index, my highest sort of regular daily exercise routine. So I'm feeling fitter, healthier and more energized through what's been a relatively short period. But I think most importantly of all, the changes I've introduced have not felt like radical things that I can't sustain for very long, like, running 100 meters as fast as you possibly can. You can only do that for a matter of seconds. These are changes that I feel now are settling into a new permanent set of habits and routines that will kind of last me for a very long period of time. So I'm really thrilled with that. And to have been able to go along that journey with a group of people who I like, know and respect and have got to trust over the years has been really, really good fun as well.
That's absolutely fantastic, Jon. And I know some people that probably watch this sort of video think, oh, that was really well set up. But we haven't actually had this conversation until that point. So that's phenomenal feedback on that programme. And yeah, obviously we started for our alumni partners, we started sort of the whole, we kick-started the sort of phase or interest of it this year back in March when we did our New Forest weekend. And we obviously had no idea at that stage how relevant the support was going to be this year. But we're definitely, if there's anything we can do to keep our partners just making positive incremental changes to their health and well-being, we think, there's going to be quite a big UK-wide drive on that, I think, coming sort of down from government. yeah, I think for PPP to be behind that and for you to be getting such positive results already is fantastic. And as you say, like, it's we all intellectually know like what the right things are to do for ourselves, but just being surrounded by the right people can make such a big difference to the success rate.
I think there's another piece as well. There's kind of an old saying that goes something along the lines of that you know, if all we had to do was read books, then we'd all have six packs and we'll all be multimillionaires, because we know, you know, the way of losing weight is to eat less, exercise more, and you know, there's some set approaches to building, you know, sort of intergenerational wealth. But there's another thing to then practice and do some of those things to take those steps, and I think that's what's been really good on this program, really excellent, has been the practical steps to take, and then being able to share some of that with part of the community who are going on the same journey, and you can see the same results and the same positive improvements across different people. You know, so I think there's that nice combination of practical, relevant advice, some good reading and education to kind of better inform people, but then, you know, ongoing support to help people get to where they want to get to for themselves and their families.
Excellent. That's amazing. I'll definitely pass that feedback back to the team as well. And we're planning on rolling out another A100 program in January. So hopefully we will get some sign-ups for that too, because it's a fantastic program. Okay, well, that's been really helpful, Jon, and hopefully the guys watching the video will really enjoy it. So thank you for sort of taking part. For anybody that does watch the video, if anybody's sort of considering coming to a discovery day or finding more out about PPP, as one of our long-standing partners, do you have like any words of wisdom for those guys that are on the periphery looking in?
Well, a piece of advice I was given, and I was reflecting on this, that I learnt about Platinum Property Partners just over 10 years ago now, and the only regret that I have is that I didn't join sooner. And it was when I went on the Discovery Day myself back in 2010, was chatting with one of the partners there, and it was similar. She had was mulling it over, was procrastinating a little bit, but then made the decision to join. And then as soon as she joined, said, well, maybe I should have just done this far sooner. I'd be getting the benefits and results and being part of that community at an earlier stage. So, yeah, it's important for everyone to do their research, their reflection, look at their own motivations. But once you get clear on that and you feel you've got the right information, you know, seize the moment. Go take, you know, use both your analytical side, but also go with your gut instinct as well to make the right decision for yourself. I certainly have no regrets. Quite the opposite. I've had a tremendous period of, you know, positive energy and good fortune over the last 10 years, and I've kind of let that filter through all different elements of my life, and it's been as a result of the community I've been part of with Platinum, and the additional communities I've been introduced to through some of those different partners, which I've had the good fortune to meet and be able to call my friends and colleagues on this journey now as well.
That's absolutely awesome, Jon. Thank you very much for your time today to talk through that, and it's so nice to catch up with you as well. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm sure we'll have another call with you soon.
Thank you very much.
Take care.